Friends, we are familiar with the opening of the Bhagavad Gita. A warrior, the greatest of his time, stands on the battlefield, trained, focused, prepared, and suddenly he collapses. His bow slips, he cannot act, his hands tremble, his mouth dries, his mind spins in confusion. This is Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and what he experiences is called Viṣāda, a state of deep despair. Now pause and reflect. Is this not our story today? Unable to decide, overwhelmed by conflicting thoughts, emotionally drained despite being capable? We are trained, we are educated, we are capable, and yet we feel overwhelmed, confused, and sometimes deeply lost. We all share a bit of Arjuna's state of mind in our own battlefields of life. In the Bhagavad Gita, the very first chapter is called Arjuna Viṣāda Yoga, the yoga of despair. This is extraordinary. Despair itself is called a yoga, a path. Why? Because Arjuna's despair is not ordinary sadness. It is moral conflict, emotional overwhelm, existential confusion. He says, I do not know what is right. This is not weakness. This is the collapse of borrowed certainty. His inherited moral framework collapses. So, what's the root of this inner conflict? Arjuna's crisis is deeply human. He is torn between duty and emotion, justice and attachment, action and withdrawal. Here we find Arjuna in confusion. His thought loses direction. He begins to argue against action. He sounds logical, even wise. He says, violence will destroy society. Family structures will collapse. Sin will arise. But look closely. His thoughts are fragmented and selective. Why? Because his perception is influenced by attachment, fear, emotional identification. This is crucial. Confusion is not lack of intelligence. It is misalignment of perception. Modern life shows the same pattern. We overthink, we justify inaction, we create narratives to avoid discomfort. Lessons for us? Confusion arises when the mind is driven by emotion rather than clarity. Here we can see how the mind creates despair. His attachment, moha, is distorting his perception. This is crucial. The mind, when overwhelmed, rationalizes avoidance, justifies fear, creates narratives to escape action. This is exactly how modern anxiety and depression often operate. Now, here comes the turning point, a radical shift. Arjuna says to Krishna, I am confused about my duty. I am your disciple. Teach me. This is the most powerful moment in the entire dialogue because here the ego stops claiming certainty, the mind admits its limitation. This is the birth of clarity. Modern problem? We rarely say, I don't know. I need guidance. Instead, we overanalyze, stay stuck, pretend certainty. Lessons for us? Clarity begins where intellectual arrogance ends. This is the birth of consciousness because the ego stops asserting, the mind stops pretending, receptivity begins. This is how the journey from anxiety to awareness begins. Krishna does not immediately solve Arjuna's problem, nor does Krishna give Arjuna any advice. Then what does he do? He shifts Arjuna's level of awareness from emotional reactivity to witness consciousness, from what will happen to me to who am I, what is the nature of reality, self, and action. Krishna reveals you are not merely the body, you are not merely the mind, you are consciousness itself. And from this shift, action becomes clear. He introduces the distinction between body, mind, and self, the idea of witnessing, the principle of detached action. This is transformative because anxiety lives in future projections, personal identification, but awareness brings stability, distance, clarity. Lessons for us: you don't resolve anxiety at the level of the anxious mind, you transcend it through awareness. At the end of the Gita, Arjuna says, my confusion is gone, I will act. Notice, his situation has not changed. The battlefield is still there, but his perception has changed. His consciousness has shifted, and therefore action becomes possible again. This is clarity, not absence of difficulty, but presence of inner alignment. He acts, but now without confusion, without emotional paralysis, with clarity and steadiness. This is the key message. The Gita does not teach escape from life. It teaches right action through inner clarity. Lessons for us: clarity is not about removing life's complexity, it is about seeing through it. Today, many people experience their own version of Viṣāda, anxiety, depression, decision paralysis, emotional exhaustion. We try to suppress it, escape it, distract ourselves from it. But the Gita offers a radically different insight. Do not suppress despair, understand it, because within despair lies a question, a conflict, a doorway. Arjuna's Viṣāda teaches us something profound. Despair is not your enemy, it is a signal that your current understanding is insufficient. Your consciousness is ready to expand. So the next time you feel confused, overwhelmed, lost, pause and ask, is this my breakdown or my breakthrough? Because just like Arjuna, your moment of despair may be the very moment your journey into higher consciousness begins. Thank you.